Hi, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. Now, today's reading is a monthly reading for all of the signs for the month of November 2021. For the reading, I'll be using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck, pulling a card from the Soul's Journey Oracle card deck. If I need to clarify, I have the miniature gilded tarot deck. And if you stick around till the end of the reading, I will be doing sort of an interactive 3-card spread where you will get a yes or no answer to whatever question you might have. So you can either stay around to the end to see that or skip ahead and watch it at the end. Just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate. If you're interested in a personalized reading, all the information can be found in the description box below this video. I'd also encourage you to watch not just your sun sign, but also your moon and rising to get, a more complete overview of what's coming in for you. Also, you can connect with me on TikTok. So I'm over there as well at Changing Phases Tarot. And just a big thank you to each and every one of you. New viewers, I hope that you like what you watched here today. And if you do, you'll give the video a like and possibly subscribe. That would be wonderful. And for those of you who have been with me for a while, I really do appreciate you. Okay, so I will stop for now and we'll see all of the signs in a second for the reading. Hi Taurus, hope you're doing well. I'm here to get into your reading. I have been shuffling off camera, but I will give the deck a few more shuffles. Spirit, what are the messages for Taurus? What does Taurus need to know for the month of November 2021? Messages for Taurus in the month of November. What does Taurus need to know? Okay, that one flew out, so we'll take that one. So the King of Swords wanted to appear. So put that at the center of your spread. Okay, we'll divide the deck. And here we go. So crossing the King of Swords, you have the Fool. So Major Arcana, this is the 0 card associated with the sign of Aquarius. And the King of Swords is also air energy, so it could be an older Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, male or female, even though he appears as the king, right? It's typically not gender specific in these general readings. So crossed by the Fool. In the deep past, you have the Page of Wands. In the recent past, you have the Queen of Cups. Crowning your reading, you have the 9 of Pentacles. In the near future, you have the 10 of Pentacles. Wow, progression from the 9 to the 10. You show up as the Hierophant, which is, your sign, right? It's associated with the sign of Taurus. So you just showing up very strongly here as the Hierophant. In your environment, you have the Emperor. So more Major Arcana energy. Hopes and fears, you have the 6 of Swords and your outbound energy, the 8 of Cups. So you actually have both transition cards in the tarot as your hopes and fears and your, the energy that's leading you into the month of December. And bottom of the deck, your overall energy, you have the Chariot. So this is associated with Cancer, right? It's number 7 of the Major Arcana, and the Chariot can also represent movement. So we have movement, right? We have movement with the Chariot, and the Chariot is forward momentum. It's very fast-paced. It's also to do with like duality, right? These opposing energies of the light and dark horses here. But the Chariot can also be, it's a card of victory, but it's a victory that's been hard for you to achieve. It's, a victory after a battle. So there's something that you have been, working out for a long time, or things have been difficult. And it's like this month you are managing to, come out on top. You're victorious. Things are finally taking off for you. And there could be, there could be movement involved for you. There could be actually moving. So moving because of a job, moving to a different location. There can be traveling by water, traveling across water. traveling overseas, right? But definitely there's movement. This could be traveling across land. That could be buying a car, or just, movement in general, and quite fast paced. So going back to the center of your spread, King of Swords crossed by the Fool. So the King of Swords can represent like a legal counsel, a lawyer, can be a judge, can be, any other profession that uses sort of sharp objects like a chef or a surgeon, can be somebody in the military. But this king is usually, as the King of Swords, he is very good with his words. He's very astute, right? He's good at giving advice. He's good at communication, because the Suit of Swords has to do with the mind, and it's how we communicate, get our thoughts across to other people. And what can help or hinder him is this Fool, which is new beginnings. And she is ready to step off the cliff into, this new cycle. And she does so trusting that the universe, will provide for her, trusting that the universe is sort of aligning all of the events and opportunities that she needs to come in, right, when they're meant to come in. So it's a new cycle starting up for you. We have news about, could be a new job, a new project, could be a new relationship as well, new business venture. And it sits in the deep past. So for many of you, you have already received this, this offer or this news. Could be a younger fire sign individual, could be a child. And this particular page, if it isn't a person, and it was you taking on this energy, it really has to do with like thinking outside of the box. So, being very creative, thinking outside of the box to come up with a solution to something. And if it is like a new job, a new relationship, it's one that you feel very passionate about, very excited about, right? But it does sit in the deep past. So you could have already, had this come in already. And it's like you're already seeing sort of the fruits of that with this, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, with it being, message from your higher self and what's coming in. I mean, this is considerable growth potential, right? So there's a growth from the 9 to the 10, and this is like going from the bachelor or bachelorette. So you have that type of life that you always wished for yourself. You work long and hard. You don't need, for anything. You have a very comfortable life for yourself. You have all the material possessions that you want. You have the good job, right? And then it's progressing into this 10, which is like, this is significant wealth and stability. It's like generational wealth. It's that type that, it's handed down from one generation to the next. It can also have to do with inheritance. So inheriting money, inheriting property, right? That handing down from one generation to the other. So it's a great deal of financial stability here. And sitting across from the 10 of Pentacles is the Queen of Cups. So it could be a person, could be a mother figure, mother of your children, your own mother. Again, with the general readings, the court cards are not gender specific. So it could be a father figure as well, right? Just in general, it's an older water sign. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And, she's very loving. She's very caring, loves to care for her family, her children, very emotionally stable. Again, if it's not a person and you taking on this energy, it's you, approaching certain situations or how you deal with people in a more loving, more, sort of open, accepting way. Now, these 2 cards are interesting coming up, like you and then how others are viewing you or what's going on in your environment. Because the Hierophant, both of these figures, I would say, are very, they're very sort of structured. They're very strong figures. The Hierophant is obviously like the religious figure, and he really represents tradition, right? And that traditional way of doing things, which is why he's associated with, large institutions like organized religion, like the church. It can also represent other large institutions like school systems, universities, the government, right? Any institution that has sort of all of those rules, procedures, ceremonies, particular way of doing things. Yeah, so he's, it is a very stable. So that could be, this could be you taking on a more traditional approach to something, right? Because he does speak of tradition. And then how others are viewing you, the emperor is, is very, again, very stable, but stable in the sense of, if you have a project to start up, if there's like a new business venture, you would want this emperor on your side. He has great vision. He's kind of that go-getter, that born leader, right? He has a great deal of responsibility. He rules over his empire and everybody and everything within the empire. So, it's like others are looking to you as this figure of stability, of tradition, a more traditional way of doing things. And then hopes and fears. And, as you end out the month, I've already touched on those. Both of the cards really speak of movement, right? And transitioning. And transition, it never happens overnight, right? It's gradual. You don't just snap your fingers usually and, leave one job and start the next one immediately. There's this like transitioning out of something. But there's moving on. Whether this is, physically, mentally, emotionally, there's definitely movement. Leaving behind a job, leaving behind a person, a relationship, leaving behind a place. And even though you might not know what lies ahead, you're trusting that what does lie ahead is going to be better for you, is going to bring you greater joy. You're trusting that, it's going to be better than what you're leaving behind. So that's interesting. So you have, in this last half of the month, it's like a great deal of financial stability. And this leveling up, this could be through, a promotion, and Chariot as well. There could be, you could be leveling up as far as a promotion goes, moving on. You could be moving, from where you're living now to go to this new location for the job. But it's very, very positive. So I love this for you, Taurus. Let's go ahead and get an additional message. So we'll pull one additional card from the Oracle deck. So Spirit, what else does Taurus need to know? Okay, that one wanted to come out. We will take it. Somebody else got this. It's grief. And it says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it, which is interesting because, the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Cups, it does sort of have this sense of, you're losing something. You can see that the cups, they've all spilled out at one time. All the cups held something that this woman was fulfilled by or enjoyed, and now it's like they don't hold anything for her. So there is this sense of, losing something or a person. Could be moving from this place, so you're kind of losing something in the move. But let's go ahead and read what else the book has to say about the card. So it says, when you accept in your heart that you will be reunited with everything you have ever loved, it will give you the ability to move beyond your grief and to derive something beneficial from the experience. To wallow in grief is to pass up the opportunity that you and your soul family have devised and learn nothing from it. Instead, allow your grief to take you to a place of deeper understanding. Nothing is gone forever, right? The emotion of grief and the sense of loss are absolutely real, but that is the point. The lesson of loss is not about the actual physical separation, because the parting is temporary and illusory. The point of the lesson is to acknowledge that the bonds of love never end and that we have not been abandoned. So yes, there might be loss, but it's about finding something, to appreciate in that moment. And I feel that especially with these two transition cards, there's a certain sense of grief at leaving behind something or losing something in your life. But it's, it's necessary, and it's about appreciating what is coming in next for you. And it does look like you have a lot of great things coming in. So let me go ahead and close out this first part of the reading so we can get to the interactive part, okay? So the way that this is going to work, as I am shuffling, I'd like you to formulate your question. So whatever it is that you would like an answer to. And then I will be drawing 3 cards, okay? And you will focus on one of the 3 cards, whichever one you feel is speaking more to you. You might want to pause the video so you can sort of meditate on the cards. And when you're ready, unpause. Okay, but we're looking for yes or no answers for Taurus for the month of November. Yes or no answers for Taurus for the month of November. Okay, I'm going to do one last shuffle. And divide the deck. All right, so here we go. This is card number 1. And this is your card number 2. And your card number 3. Okay, when you're ready, unpause the video. And here we go. So if you pick card number 1, that would be a yes. That's the 3 of Cups. It's a card of celebration, of celebrating with friends, getting together with friends. Can be as simple as, a quick get together, meeting up for coffee, going out for a drink, to something as elaborate as, like a wedding ceremony and the party that's after it. So it's getting together with others, enjoying their company, celebrating with them. 3s do speak of, expansion and growth, and it's water energy, so it has to do with emotions and feelings. So in general, it is a card of celebration. It's positive, so this would be a yes. If you went with card number 2, you have the King of Cups. This would also be a yes. Okay, and King of Cups, it could be dealing with an older water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. He's very loving, very compassionate, right? He's very in tune with his feelings. As the king of his suit, he has mastered the suit of water, which is feelings and emotions and relationships. Yeah, so very loving energy. This would be a yes. And if you chose card number 3, that's the 6 of Pentacles. That would also be a yes. 6s in the Tarot generally speak of balance. In the case of the Pentacles, it's like that give and take. So, one time you might be on the receiving end and needing somebody's assistance. And then others, right, just like you have the 9 and 10 of Pentacles, it might be your turn to help others. So, yes, you could be helping others, like actually with, financially speaking, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I mean, Pentacles is earth energy, which has to do with our material possessions and belongings, but it can also be, our time, like giving of ourselves, giving of our time, donating our time. So that can be by, volunteering, things like that. But it is a give and take as far as the earth energy goes here. And in general, it is, it's more of like a shared, a balanced energy. So I will say yes. So you have all 3 cards are yeses. So whichever one you chose, take the additional messages that card has for you. But, all of them do say yes as an answer. So I do hope that the messages have helped you, Taurus. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of November. Bye for now.